If I guess I'll start. My name is Kelly, and my son Shane was murdered in November 19th of 2005. He was a designated driver at a party, and there was an altercation while he was out driving other kids around. When he came back, the party had been dismantled, and he was standing at the door waiting for the last person to drive home, watching tire shoes. At that point in time, 5 kids came up to the door. The smallest one knocked on the door and was let in. And as soon as the door opened, the other 4 stormed in. Shane was standing by the door, and first boy that came in pepper sprayed everybody so that they couldn't retaliate or defend themselves. Second one came in swinging a baseball bat, and Shane, being the one that was standing, was the first one to get hit. He was taken to the hospital, and they tried doing everything they possibly could for him, but he had too much swelling on the brain and they couldn't do anything. So he passed on the 19th. The 5 kids that were involved, we went to court, and 3 of them got house arrest for 2 years. One was 2 years less a day, one that had the pepper spray, and the other one had 4 years less time served. So by the time we got through all of the trials, the 3 on house arrest were already out partying. Mm-hmm. And the one that was 2 years less a day served, I think, was 8 months. And the other gentleman, which I use that term lightly, he was out within, I think it was a year and 3 quarters. So was not much of a punishment. We have suffered considerably longer than that. And can I give it off to you, Susie?
Sure. Wow, I'm really sorry. That's hard to hear. So my son Elijah was murdered August 26th of 2022. And he had let someone into his apartment to stay there who was homeless, and Elijah feeling, he was like that, right? He would just always want to help somebody. And he was asked to leave. There was a talisman coming, and they weren't supposed to have anybody in the apartment when somebody was there, when somebody was coming in. So he was asked to leave, and he didn't want to leave. And he literally shut the door. And then it appears that he went into the kitchen and got a knife. And walked into Elijah's bedroom. And Elijah was just waking up, so he wasn't even fully alert. He was still lying down. And he started stabbing him. And Elijah got he got stabbed at the back of his neck. He had right through his hand, trying to defend himself, in the kidneys, and 3 in the vicinity of the heart, and 1 right through the heart. So he didn't last long. And so we've just finished trial about that, and it's a lot. He did get charged. He got charged for 2nd-degree murder, and that's what he got. He was found guilty. So
Stuff.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is.
My name is Sharon. My husband, Ian, was murdered in 2018, April 17th. He interrupted a robbery that was happening at a kiosk in the mall. just outside our store, doing what he normally would do, which would be doing the right thing. And he was attacked, and they tried to resuscitate him in the mall, took him to the hospital, and same thing, swelling on the brain. He lasted a couple of days as we saw his brain shrink more and more, and then we had to let him go. It was coming close to our daughter's birthday. I didn't want him to go on our daughter's birthday, so we had to let him go the day before. The whole thing, it was 9 o'clock in the morning. The whole thing was caught on tape. The police knew exactly who it was. It was two fellas, young fellas, ne'er-do-wells who were out on bail and who had terrible records of assault. And anyways, they ran for it, but the RCMP eventually picked them up. There was nothing to contest. They basically cut a deal. He was given 7.5 years, but because it was COVID time and he was given extra time for being in jail, etc., so it ended up being about 4 years. So now he's out, living his best life, getting married, has a child, and in the meantime, I have 3 grandsons who could have had the most awesome granddad in the world. And they're missing out on that. And that's very hard, even now.
Not fair.
No.
My name is Gerald. My son Shane was murdered on January 2nd, 2023. I got a call from homicide detectives. I didn't know they were homicide detectives. I was out. We want to, are you very far? Can you make it home? And then they said they'd wait. And I thought, now what are the boys up to now? Who got in trouble? I didn't think anything more than that. And got home, got in the house, and they let me know that Shane was shot. And at that time, from what I remember, they were telling me that there were people of interest, and that's about all they could say. They also let me know, and this is the part I had a hard time kind of understanding at the time, like how does this make sense, that he was shot, but he didn't die. He was found unresponsive at the Hope Mission the next day. I didn't quite think that. I'm kind of going, no, he was, how could that be? Because usually when you're shot to death, right? So it was kind of hard to understand. So it didn't make sense to me till the rest of the story came through. It's totally random. They said what they know of it is if he would have kept walking, made 10 paces more and crossed the street, he'd be alive today. If he would have went where he was headed, because they said he was heading in a different direction and he made it over to the corner where the altercation happened. So he was shot and he made his way to the Hope Mission. Where he lived for 27 hours. He didn't get, I think there was some help. There were people that were trying to comfort him, trying to get him blankets, trying to help him. But I don't think anyone knew that he was shot. The week before the celebration of life, we got a call from homicide detectives. They caught somebody. They've charged him with second-degree murder. didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I couldn't get anger. I think I was too busy planning things and trying to get Shane some justice by planning this for him. He was struggling with homelessness, but he's still a person.
Absolutely.
And the people that showed up were kids he played soccer with, ones he played sports with.
Nice.
And it was nice to see. So the trial's coming up next month, and I've seen the guy a couple times. He'd be like anybody else. He might have been their friend when they were that age. He's 25 years old. Someone referred to him as a punk. I just don't have that get this guy. I don't know. It's not built in, or there's something wrong with me. So, anyways, we'll see what happens at trial.
Unfortunately, you can't go get the guy. You have other people that love you and want to be with you as well. So,
Yeah.
Well, you know, I kind of say I've showed up for every court date when I was told you don't have to, because these are just going to be pushed over, and then he's got to get disclosure, and then he's got to get his lawyer, and then his lawyer's got to get more information, and all this other stuff. I was there. I was told I didn't have to go. And I thought, well, this guy's got a lawyer. He's got people representing him. I have to be there.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Shane has representation.
Yeah.
But just maybe over the last month or two, I'm going, but he does have other representation. He's got the people, the Crown prosecutor, he's got those people. And it sounds like they're very secure in the charge, in everything that's going to happen. So he does have representation there too. But family, that's where I want to be there for family, as family.
thank you for sharing.
Okay,
Lily?
thank you.
My name's Lily. My son Kevin was murdered July 1st, 2019, the day before his 22nd birthday. His case remains unsolved. His body was found 10 days later. So I never got to see him. And his body was disposed of in Strathcona County. So because of that, the case is with the RCMP. We started with the Edmonton Police because we had filed a missing persons report on him because it was unlike him. That we didn't hear from him. We were told at the beginning that, I don't remember the term, promising, or it's looking good, good leads, something like that. So, and for it to dwindle down to nothing. I know there's no justice because there's not enough justice. We can never bring him back. That's the only thing that'll make it right. And hearing each of your cases and coming to these meetings, and it's disheartening and sickening.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking for justice. I just want to know what happened. And because it's a open case or unsolved case, we don't get to know anything. We can't talk about anything, for one. I don't know much, but even the little that I do, I can't talk about it. We don't get to know how he died. All I know is he died alone. Likely really scared. You talk about the 27 hours, same thing. I'm just haunted by 1,000 scenarios on what happened, what his last thoughts were. Just what he was thinking. I hope he knew we loved him.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Just because I never saw his body and I don't have a story. To this day, it's July. It'll be 6 years, I think. Yeah, 6 years. I still haven't accepted it.
Right.
I don't know if that's what keeps me going. I'm kind of thankful, I guess. But yeah. Outside of that, I have 2 living sons. I don't know if that's lucky. Guess it's lucky I'm still a mom. But not to see my son suffering too, because they've lost a brother.
Yeah.
These meetings have been a savior. Just to be among people who understand.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I have good friends, I have good support, very fortunate of that. But it's just, they don't know.
Yeah.
And they should know, nobody should know.
Yeah. But you're kind of in limbo.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't worked since. I've been thinking about it. I don't know that I can. I've never been a crier. I can count on my hands the number of times I've cried in my life. But since this, I've cried every day of my life.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing. What our loved ones and who we are going through is terribly unfair, but none of them deserved it. And we don't deserve it either. Everybody deserves the right to live.